What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, November 15th, 2025, and we are back with another weekly recap here on the Touring Your Brain Reloaded channel. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. And if for any reason the notifications do not work on here, simply join the Discord and you should be notified in there. But shout out to everybody that is here so far. I hope that y'all are having a good morning. I hope y'all had a good week. And before we get into everything, let me go ahead and introduce the people who are here so far in the chat, or for those who came in early. We got Dimpleface, Firebat, Raging Woody, Sybil, Wallow J, my digital auntie Moochie's in the building. And also, Moochie, I think you just had a birthday that just recently passed. So happy belated birthday to you. We got E equals MC squared, Dark Titan, BB, Reparations Nations, Miss Nisi, Don P, Desiree. We got a Desiree B and a Jill B. Shout out to both of you. We got Kels 517, Brother Man to you. And that is it so far. Yeah, in case y'all don't know, StreamYard has a thing now where basically it's like two lives are going on at the same time. It's one for the regular desktop laptop version, and then they have a vertical one for those who are using a mobile device. That's something new that they just implemented. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm trying to test it out now. I actually used it a few days ago, I think, for the first time when I did the live on Tommy. I think I did it. That's the first time I tried it. Either that or the one that I did on Monday. Either way, it was this week. I do know that. So that's something I'm just like testing out right now. That's something new that they implemented. So it doesn't matter which one you join in because it's the same live. It's just that some people might be in the vertical live, and then there might be some people that's in the portrait style live. But it's all the same thing. All the views are going to add up at the end of the day once this thing is over with. But yeah, so for once, it's been a while since when I do my weekly recaps that I have good positive news to start off with, because I feel like we've been kind of dry for the last couple of weeks. But I actually have 3 pieces of good news and one update before we get into the main topic. So let me go ahead and start off with the positive news first. So as everybody knows, the Michael Jackson biopic teaser dropped last week. I actually meant to talk about it in my weekly recap last week, but I forgot. But I think this bit of news came out after the fact, so I wasn't able to talk about it. So I think everybody and their mama in this chat is going to go watch this movie when it comes out next April. I know I am. As big as a Michael Jackson fan as I am, I will definitely be in there day one. But of course, the movie has already broken records before it has even come out, meaning that this movie, well, the teaser trailer that dropped for it, it broke a record for the most watched trailer for a biopic ever. It said that it garnered over 116 million views on social media in 24 hours. So, I mean, was anybody remotely surprised? I know I wasn't. And there's also another thing that just came out that I saw, and shout out to Nicole's view, because she's a big Michael Jackson fan as well. And I saw this on her Instagram page. Apparently, allegedly, next month, they're going to start doing the pre-sale tickets for the movie. Mind you, this movie comes out in April. Usually pre-sales for a movie don't start until like maybe a month before the movie comes out. But they are doing allegedly pre-sale tickets starting next month. So it almost feels like you're going to a Michael Jackson concert, you know, like you got to get your tickets in advance and all types of stuff like that. But it's a big deal. They're also predicting that this is going to be $1 billion movie, which I'm not surprised that if it reaches that, that'll be great. I think this might be Lionsgate. If they do make it, this might be Lionsgate's first $1 billion film in their studio history. So it's a very, very big deal. So shout out to the Michael Jackson estate. I can't wait to see what they do with this movie. It has been long awaited. It has had some things going on, behind the scenes with it. They had to do some extensive reshoots, especially with that third act because of some legality stuff. So they ended up having to push it back because the movie was supposed to come out this year. They had to push it back to next year. Now it has a locked in date. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this movie. So that's the first bit of news that I wanted to come up with. But also, while we're talking about Michael Jackson and breaking records, I'm telling you, the man's been deceased since 2009 and still breaking records, because this also too just came out. Michael Jackson is the first artist to chart in the Hot 100 top 10 in 6 distinct decades. It says, with the return of Thriller to the Hot 100 top 10, Michael Jackson has charted in 6 distinct decades, starting with the 70s. Mind you, this man only lived to be 50. So I want you to let that sink in. And I have the strongest feeling that when this movie comes out, a lot of his music is going to resurge into the lexicon. You know what? I don't even have a feeling. I already know that that's what's going to happen. So I know when this movie comes out, everybody's going to go start listening and streaming his music as if it had just dropped that day. So like I said, he's still, and they try to compare Aubrey to this man. In what universe? I say there's Michael Jackson, and then there's everybody else. No disrespect to all the other talented artists, but y'all gonna have to compete for your own lanes. He has a lane all to himself, and that lane is closed only to him. But before we go on to the next story, y'all let me know in the chat. Are y'all going to get dressed up for the occasion? Like, are y'all going to go and like put something on when the movie comes out, sort of like how they did with Black Panther? Y'all know how that was. Are y'all going to go and put something on? It could be a shirt, it could be some loafers, some white socks, a glitter glove, the sequin jacket. That's going to be a day where you could dress something like that and ain't nobody going to judge you. It's going to be like Planet Fitness, a judgment-free zone. Only God knows what I might end up doing. Someone actually put out a chart where it was a chart with all the months on it, and based on what month you have determines what outfit you would have to wear at the for the movie. My birthday was in May, and for my month was the Remember the Time video outfit. I said I'm fine with that. That's one of my favorite videos by him. Reparations Nation said is the director, FBA. Antoine Fuqua is the director. I'm sure you all know who he is. He did Antoine Fisher. Did he do Training Day? I want to say he did Training Day too, but I know he did Antoine Fisher. No, I don't have, it's in a Discord, but it's not my Discord. But I don't know I can't remember which Discord it's in. I don't have access to it at the moment. Yeah, Moochie, I saw that Michael Jackson. I actually saw that video yesterday. Yeah, that dude got some issues, more than a little bit. The advocate said, if I can get former FBA Newsweek goal is J5. But yeah. So I'm very much so looking forward to it. I have very high hopes and expectations for this. When I heard that Antoine Fuqua was doing it, I said, okay, now I know it's in good hands, because he doesn't hold back when it comes to telling true stories. If y'all watch Antoine Fisher, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the second piece of good news. But let's move on to the next good piece of news right here. And it is on Chadwick Boseman. So, as we know, we lost Chadwick back in 2025. It's crazy how fast time flies. And, it's very unfortunate. He was so young, but unfortunately, cancer took over and did its unfortunate maneuver. But Chadwick Boseman will be receiving his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame sometime this month. Yeah. Unfortunately, he won't be there to accept it because, he's passed. So most likely it's going to be given to his widow. And they probably gonna maybe have her say a couple of things. Of course, you know how the ceremony goes. Very well deserved, in my honest opinion. This guy, he had been doing things for years. It's unfortunate that a lot of people didn't know who he was until he did Black Panther and Captain America Civil War. But we knew he did other things before then, leading up to that. Like, people don't realize that Chadwick Boseman has been acting for years. I remember when Chadwick Boseman used to be on a soap opera. Then he did other, like, he was on episodes of Law and Order. He did a couple of indie films. And then, but when he really got his big break was with 42, playing Jackie Robinson. And, he played in Get On Up as James Brown. He was in that Thurgood Marshall movie. Then, of course, he really crossed over when he did Black Panther and Civil War. Then they had Black Panther, the movie. And then he had some other things that came out after that. And I think I forgot what that last movie he did, the one that he got nominated for an Oscar for. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that he passed away. And but congratulations, posthumously, congratulations to him. Very much well deserved, regardless. What's going on, gamers? Then Cosmo said Keith David recently got his star. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. He is definitely an iconic voice actor. He just has an iconic voice. That's one person that can do acting, live action, and do voiceover work. Some people can do both, or one or the other, but I'm glad to see that he can actually do both. He has such a domineering voice, too. Like, when you hear it, it's like, oh, my God, it's like he just knows how to command the room, so to speak. So that's the 3 good stories right there. But now that we've gone over the 3 positive stories, now we got to go into an update. And I guess you could say this is a good thing, but it's following behind a tragic incident, and that is with the McMichaels. So apparently the McMichaels and that other third guy that was with them was still trying to overturn the hate crime charge that they got hit with after what happened with them and Ahmaud Arbery over 5 years ago. Well, according to the U.S. Appeals Court, they are upholding the hate crime convictions of these 3 guys, and it's there to stay. It's not moving. So, hey, deal with it. But the thing about it is, even if they were to so-called remove the hate crime conviction, they still would have had life without parole. So I don't know what did they think possibly removing it was going to do. You're still going to do the time. Like, you're not getting out. Like, well, this guy right here in the middle, he's the only one eligible for parole because he didn't actually kill Ahmaud Arbery. These 2 did. He was there. He recorded it. And the thing about it is, he's actually the main ones for the cause of their demise because he recorded it. Now, the thing about it is, if he didn't record it, they would have probably been tied up in litigation for years trying to prove what they did. But because he recorded the incident, that was all the major evidence that they needed right there. So imagine had he not recorded or had he not been there. So shout out to the U.S. Appeals Court for holding up the hate crime conviction and making sure that they enjoy their stay for the duration of their existence on this planet. So that takes care of that. So now that we've gone through the good stories and the updates, let's get into the main topics. And the first one I want to talk about is Steve Bannon. When I saw this, I said, oh, Steve, you sound scared. So it says Steve Bannon warns MAGA to brace for prison if the Democrats keep winning. And this is coming off of the heels of the most recent election that just occurred. And I think there's a video. Actually, matter of fact, I got to stop sharing right quick because the little thing popped up and I got to share my screen again. I hate when that happens. Hold on, y'all. And let me see if this video plays. And of course, there's an ad because there's always an ad. If the daggone thing would load. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there's no ad. Check this. Listen to this, y'all.
You right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right? We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills and pay Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it. President Trump today gave to the Senate when they came over for breakfast. Even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys that like, and some of these institutions, I understand this is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning. Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it. And I'm trying to play the institutions. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it. And these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, the limited government constitutionalist in our movement. And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this, seize the institutions. If we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump.
All right, so you hear, my bad, Edwin. The reason why the volume is low because that's the highest it goes. This is on Daily Beast. So I don't know why and I have the volume turned all the way up on the video, but yeah, that was as high as it went because it even sound low on my end, and I have these headphones on, and I'm right here. But yeah, that's Steve Bannon right there, and he's speaking at, what is this? Something Academy. Listen, I don't know what it is, but he up there talking about if we lose the midterms and we lose the election in 2028, he said myself and some people in this room are going to prison. That sounds like a scare tactic. He's basically sounding like we got to get out there and make sure that they don't win so we can stay out of jail. But he's really thinking of himself. Let's be honest with ourselves here. He's thinking of himself. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, why is Steve Bannon making this claim? Now, mind you, this was posted on November 7th. This was posted last week, literally about a week ago. If only he would have known what was about to come out literally a week later. I'm just going to leave it at that. And you know what? When I was reading the comments, when he was talking about this, many people was like, well, in that case, let's vote blue. That's literally what people were saying, because they'd have no problem wanting to see him get locked up, as well as many of those on that side. But when I saw this, I started laughing. I said, Steve, you sound scared. He sounds shook. Oh, well, honestly, to be quite honest with you, some of them, or a lot of them, actually need to go to jail. Some of them don't need to be outside free, walking around common society. If we are being completely honest here. As my grandmother said, a bunch of crooks. Steve Bannon is no different. And what it really is that if he goes to jail, then they're going to expose why he's going to jail. What you hiding? Exactly, D-Money. He sounds guilty. Probably because he is. That guilty conscience is catching up with him. But the way things are going right now is looking kind of bleak for people like Steve Bannon. Oh, well. Let's move on to the next story. Good luck, I suppose. And let's talk about Antonio Brown. My goodness. It's like every time Antonio Brown gets mentioned, it's for something that's non-NFL related, and it's usually for some BS. So in case y'all don't know, Antonio Brown had got charged with attempted murder in a shooting in Miami. And when I heard about this, I said to myself, as shocking as this may be to some, it's not that shocking to me. I hope it's not true, but just the accusation alone, because of all the stuff that Antonio Brown has been involved with over the years, is like just crazy. Former NFL star Antonio Brown was returning to Tuesday to Miami to face an attempted murder charge stemming from a May shooting, with his lawyer filing a not guilty plea on his behalf. Jail records in Essex County, New Jersey show Brown was released late Tuesday morning for the transfer to Florida. The former All-Pro wide receiver had waived extradition to Florida from New Jersey, where he was bought following his arrest in Dubai. Brown's lawyer, Mark Eglarsh, said in an email that he has already filed a written not guilty plea to the attempted murder charge. Brown could be in a Miami courtroom as early as Wednesday morning for a bond hearing. According to an arrest warrant, Brown is accused of grabbing a handgun from a security staffer after a celebrity boxing match on May 16th and firing 2 shots at a man he had gotten into a fistfight with earlier. The victim, Zul Kwame Nantambu, told investigators that one of the bullets grazed his neck. His attorney said Brown was simply protecting himself from a person he had problems with before. The actions he was forced to take were solely in self-defense against the alleged victim's violent behavior. Brown was attacked that night and acted within his legal right to protect himself. Brown was not immediately arrested that night because initially police did not identify Nantambu as a victim. It wasn't until May 21st that Nantambu gave a full statement about the incident to police and identified Brown as the shooter. Based on his social media posts, Brown had been living in Dubai for several months. In a social media post after the altercation, Brown said he was defending himself because he was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal his jewelry and cause physical harm to him. A second-degree attempted murder charge in Florida carries a maximum 15-year sentence and up to a $10,000 fine in the event of a conviction. Yeah, that CTE with Antonio Brown is something. I think Antonio Brown might have one of the one of the wildest CTE cases in recent years. I mean, we've seen the effects of what CTE can do to a person who has it, and it's not good at all. What video, Mansa Musa, what video are you talking about? If you're talking about this video, that's an ad. That's an Intuit Credit Karma ad. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Mucci said, he said his brain is fried. He's done CTE and fled to Dubai. Yeah. I didn't even know he was living in Dubai, honestly. But I don't be keeping up with Antonio Brown like that, or at all, rather. Oh, you said it played earlier? Okay. But yeah, that CTE is nothing to play with. That is a very serious problem. That is a very serious issue. And try to get as much treatment as you can instead of just avoiding it. And that's the thing about it, is that a lot of them don't get the treatment, if there's any treatment at all. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this going forward. If there's an update to come, which I'm sure there will be, we'll go on from there. But let's move on to the next story. And that is Byron freaking Donalds. Now, some of y'all may or may not have seen this video, but it was an interview that Byron Donalds had when he was on the Breakfast Club. And as y'all know, Byron is of Jamaican descent. I believe it's of Jamaican descent. He was born here, but I think he's first generation born. But I want y'all to listen to what he said on the topic of reparations. Like I said, some of you probably have seen this video, but I want y'all to see and hear what he says right here, just in case you haven't.
My mother's Jamaican. My father's Panamanian. You have a lot of black people in this country who are not descendants of the American slave trade. So I already know off top, there's a lot of black people in America who aren't going to be able to get that kind of benefit or get reparations.
Well, most people who are for reparations, they feel like it should go to what they call foundational black Americans anyway.
That's the reasons for why I'm no. So
They do support reparations for what Leonard just deemed as, quote, foundational black Americans?
No, I don't.
No.
All right, so you heard what he said right there, right? He is of Jamaican and Panamanian descent. His mother's Jamaican and his dad is Panamanian. And he's up there talking about reparations. Basically, in layman's terms, he's asking, can we get in on it as well? Because not every black person in America is FBA. So if there's like basically saying that if there's any money left over, can we get it? To answer that question for you, Byron, there won't be any money left over. Okay? There won't be any left over. And I'm not surprised that this is coming from Byron Donalds, because if you remember, I think it was last year, it was him and some of them other bootlicks that was at some kind of conference or something like that down in Georgia. And there was this black guy that was talking in the crowd, and he brought up the topic of slavery. And Byron had said something slick about slavery even then. And I'm like, wait a minute. You have no say in this whatsoever, because your family or your lineage didn't have to deal with that. And now you're going to come back, what, the following year and wonder if there's going to be any money for you or any tangibles for you, while dismissing the lineage or the ancestors of the people who would benefit from it anyway. That's not how this works. Yeah, thank you, KG said the Cigar Lounge in Buckhead with Wesley Hunt. And I'm glad you brought that up, because when I first saw that, I'm like, why are y'all having a meeting at a cigar lounge? Like, that doesn't seem like the most common area that every black man goes to. I mean, we know what type of black man you're trying to reach out to by going to a cigar lounge, but you weren't trying to talk to the common black man, that's for sure. So people saw that and went in on Byron Donalds again. Like I said, they make it too easy for us to check them, because they say stuff like that. Byron, you have no say in our tangibles. If there are tangibles to be had, you need to go and talk to that organization. Just because you are here in the States does not mean you are entitled to what we have. Just because you are black in skin tone does not mean you are Black American, and you're not. Not on either side, might I add. It's not like he's half. It's not like he has one FBA pair and one not. He's non-FBA on both sides. So he really doesn't have a say. I can't wait for his wake-up call to come next year when he loses his run for governor, because he's going to lose. I have no expectation that he's going to win. Did all that tap dancing to try to get a job being the VP, walking out there like you, stomping with the big dogs, as Martin said, and you lost, and then had to sit next to not only the person you was trying to get a job from, but also next to the person that ended up getting the job you wanted. How embarrassing. And you had to sit up there and smile and grin like you was okay with that. I thought your face was going to crack from trying to force that smile. You said, am I going live twice? Oh, like I said earlier, on StreamYard, they implemented a thing where you can go live on the landscape side, which is the one I'm looking at now, but they also have the vertical side too. So it looks like I'm going live twice. Technically, I kind of am, but it's the same live. It's just that one might be looking at on their phone and another person might be looking on their computer or laptop, but it's the same live. So let's move on now to the next story. You know, Byron Donalds, lame. This one right here. Look, I have done stories on my channel and on my Patreon about people who commit these these assaults on people. And I have heard a litany of reasonings as to why they did it. Some I never even got the reasoning. But this one right here might take the cake. Check this out. Man dragged woman off the sidewalk and SA'd her because, get this, he was a virgin. What? That was your reasoning? Because you was a virgin? And this is coming out of Minnesota, y'all. Authorities in Minnesota said a man was arrested after he reportedly SA'd a woman who was out taking a walk. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office said 21-year-old Tristen Leritz was taken into custody around 11 a.m. last Thursday, and that is him right there. KTSP reported the suspect had stalked the woman who was walking on Centerville Road while talking to a friend through her phone while wearing headphones. As she walked, Leritz reportedly came up behind her and pushed her to the ground. The victim reportedly told authorities that Leritz was much larger than her and used his hand to cover her mouth, telling her not to scream. According to a criminal complaint, the victim said she yelled out to her phone to try to get her friend to call 911. She also attempted to get the attention of those driving past cars, but no one stopped. According to the complaint, she said her attacker overpowered her, restricted her breathing, and then violated her. With the help of DNA evidence, the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office said they determined Leritz was a suspect and arrested him in his home in White Bear Township. In an interview with authorities, Leritz reportedly admitted to essaying the woman and said he did so because he was a virgin. The sheriff's office also said the victim was able to provide them with a detailed description of her attacker. Leritz is currently held in the Ramsey County Jail awaiting charges, according to the sheriff's office. That is absolutely insane. Because you was a virgin, you decide that you're going to take advantage of this woman, assault her right there on the sidewalk. Because when I first heard about this, they didn't reveal too much about the reasoning. They just said that you're not going to believe why he did it. And then when I read into it, I said, all these women out here, and he's 21, y'all, all these women out here that would consent. This is what you have to do. This lets me know he didn't know how to talk to women. This was his form of communication right here. Let me just grab someone off the street, throw them on the ground, and have my way with them. And out in the open, that's the craziest part. It's not like they was behind closed doors. This was outside. Because they said cars was passing by. So he had no shame in what he did. And he didn't care where he was at. He just knew he went out that day with an agenda and said, I am no longer going to be a virgin today, but this is how I'm going to go about it. Well, guess what? Where you're headed, sir, you're not going to be a virgin anymore in there either. I'll let y'all put the pieces of the puzzle together of what I just said. I think all of y'all pretty much figured that out. Many of y'all was thinking the same thing before I even said it. Cosmo said probably another fresh and fit fan. Who knows? Mansa Musa said, I don't know if this is a protect the white boy level stuff, but we'll have to see. Well, the only way it would be is if they let him go. But from the looks of it, they shouldn't. But then again, there was that story about the Jesse Buckner, whatever kid that I did that video on a couple weeks ago, the one that violated those 2 teen girls and almost took out one of them, and he got a slap on the wrist. So if that can happen, anything is possible. Man, like I said, it is some weirdos and creeps flying around out here. Dimple Faces said this was a national source to protect the white boy. You know what's so crazy? I wonder if this is a black guy that did this. They probably would have made a big deal out of it. Especially if a Matt Walsh would have got a hold of it. That's why I said, see, this basically is being treated as an isolated incident, and I can see why. But if it was a black guy that did it, and it was especially against a white woman, Matt Walsh would have turned this thing into World War III. But let's move on to the next story. Now, this one's kind of funny in case y'all didn't know about it. So, this past was Sunday when the Commanders played Detroit, in which the Commanders got their ass beat. Trump was there at the stadium, and he got massively booed by the vast majority of the audience that was there. So in case y'all didn't see it, let's go ahead and play this raw footage. All right, so that's just the raw footage right there. And I had to do the raw footage because some news media outlets, they were only playing some of it. They weren't playing like this footage right here. So yeah, he attended the Commanders Detroit Lion game, and really the only reason he was there is because he put out there that he wants the stadium to be named after him. I've noticed that he wants a lot of things named after him, and I don't know why he thinks he's more important than he is, but I hope these organizations don't cave in. They probably look at this and just like laugh at it. Like, this dude is crazy. And considering what allegedly came out yesterday, he may want to be careful on what he wants to put his name on. I'm just saying. Jennifer said, I bet some of the boos came from some of the people that voted for him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It was some people out there was cheering, but they got severely drowned out by all that sea of boos that was floating around out there. And he's out there cheering and clapping. I'm like, I know you got to hear those boos, but he got to keep on up the appearance, because they didn't want him there. They didn't want him there. And shout out to Professor Wonderful for the 2. He said these maggots always think they're the majority, right? Especially on social media, especially like on Twitter and stuff like that. That's why I keep telling y'all, I can get some of the best content off of Twitter alone with MAGA alone. Hilarious. When you think that you are bigger than what you are, much like he is, or much like he thinks he is. But yeah, like they said, he wants to rename this stadium after him. He wants to rename a lot of things after him, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that was what happened there. So now we're about to get into the last story of the day. And this is the one that seemed to, speaking of social media, to have been taking over the airwaves of social media for the last week or so. And that is Sydney Sweeney, aka the new box office flop queen. So in case y'all are unaware, Sydney Sweeney, who is on the show Euphoria, and it seems like the only solid thing that's going for her, and she's gonna have to do something because Euphoria's last season is coming out next year, so I don't know what she's gonna do. She just recently had this movie come out called Christie, which is about this LGBT boxer. It's a real life story. And outside of that, I don't know much more about the movie because the movie wasn't promoted. It wasn't marketed. I don't think I ever saw a trailer for it. I didn't see a commercial about it or anything like that. But the movie was made with a $30 million budget and only made $1.5 million in the box office in its opening weekend. That is absolutely horrific. They said this might have one of the lowest box office returns ever in movie history. Now, for those who also don't know who Sydney Sweeney is, she was the one that did the American Eagle ad. Now, I know y'all heard about that back in was it August? No, back in late July. The jeans ad, the jeans ad, that was her. And around that time, she also had a movie that came out shortly after that called Americana. That flopped too. She had another movie that came out this year and that flopped as well. She has another movie that's supposed to be coming out, I think, next month. I don't know how that's going to do either. But she also was in that Madam Web movie that came out last year. Didn't watch it, didn't care to watch it, and neither did anyone else because that flopped as well. And the point that I'm making is a lot of people in MAGA are propping this woman up like she's the next big thing when all they really do is prop up her chest. That's it. I said, for all the so-called support that she allegedly has, you would never know because these fools don't go and watch her stuff. They don't pay to go watch anything she does. And I saw this one live flight floating around on Twitter when people said, well, people just don't go to the movies anymore like that. I said, I call BS on that because a lot of people went to go see Predator Badlands last weekend, myself included, and it actually surpassed expectations. In case y'all didn't know, that movie was only supposed to be projected to make $25 million, and it ended up making 40 domestically. So it blew way past expectations. And it was a really good movie. I can't say too much about this one. All I'm saying is that MAGA does not support like they claim they do. They say they do all of this online, but it doesn't translate into anything tangible, and this is proof of it. They said, oh, we're going to go and buy her jeans. How many people actually went and bought her jeans? Honestly, to be quite honest with you, how many could fit her jeans? Exactly, Nene. And the character she played in this movie is a part of the Academy. That goes against their principle. So I don't know what she's going to have to do. She's probably going to have to get maybe get a new team or something, or pick better roles or whatever. And what also didn't help is that she did this interview, I think it was with GQ, and they gave her an opportunity to try to clear up what she said with the ad, with the jeans and everything like that. And the response she gave was just as bland as what seemingly her movie career is. And that didn't help either. Hell, even if she had to lie, so be it. But she didn't even do that. And they up there talking about, yeah, Sydney, she's not going to sit up there and lie. She's a truth teller. She's this, she's that. Yeah, she's this, she's that. But she's also a flop queen, too. Y'all didn't go and support her movie. Then you got some of them people over there like on Geeks and Gamers on there trying to figure out what's going on. You didn't go watch her movie, but you wanted to get up there and trash a good movie with Predator Badlands. And Dana Martinez, let me help you out right quick. Let me help you out right quick. There you go. Now you can go and talk to the invisible wall. So yeah, they're full of it. If anything's going to tank her career, it's going to be a combination of her and them. But at least with her, she can kind of salvage her career, but she can't do it with them as support. And if that doesn't make it worse, look at this. Ruby Rose, who was another actress, she says that she was originally attached to the biopic. So originally, Ruby Rose was supposed to play the part that Sydney Sweeney was playing, which honestly I think would have been better, considering Ruby Rose already has this look, and I think she's in the Academy too. She said the movie was ruined because of her, and that's why it flopped. Now, could she be saying this because she was mad because she got replaced? Possibly. But now she has room to gloat and be a little bit petty. Right, because in case y'all didn't know, Ruby Rose was in that Batwoman show on CW before she ended up getting replaced by I forgot the black woman's name. And like I said, I didn't know that she was originally to do that part. But when I look at it, I said, yeah, she would have been. They shouldn't have got rid of her. But if you look right here on the left, that's Sydney Sweeney in the part that she's playing. This is Ruby Rose, the actress that was supposed to be her. Shout out to Jill B for the 1999 Super Sticker. I appreciate it. Dark Titan says, Ruby got tattoos, Christy don't. Well, hey, movie makeup, they do it all the time. It's a lot of actors that play in parts that doesn't require tattoos, and all they got to do is cover it up. So that's nothing. So hey, it is what it is. But like I said, Sydney Sweeney, she better try to work something out. She gonna have, like I said, she's gonna have to get a new team or something. She's going to have to distance herself from MAGA because they're not doing her any favors. They're not doing her any favors. Oh, yeah, I forgot she was in the John Wick movies. And when you're doing John Wick, you got to have a certain level of athleticism because that's nothing but action. You said she can go do Lifetime movies. Hey, I mean, Go do. I was getting ready to say Hallmark. She can go do a Hallmark movie. Something that is more safe for her. Nothing too outside of her comfort zone, rather. And in case y'all didn't know, in the show Euphoria, because I actually do watch that show, and I think I've told y'all that before. Her character on Euphoria is probably just as unlikable as it seems her personality is in real life. If y'all watch the show, y'all already know that her character in that show is very unlikable. Very, especially after the stunts that her character pulled in season 2. Like, her character has like no redeeming qualities at all. So there's that. But anyway, y'all, that was the last story of the day. Let me go ahead now and drop the link in the chat, and y'all can come up and speak. Y'all will be on the timer today. Just giving y'all a heads up. Spirit of Justice says you can't watch anything with Zendaya. Why not? Zendaya is actually a very solid actress. Like, very good. All right. You redeemed yourself. You up here first today.
I was gonna redeem myself, Torian. How are everybody doing in the chat? First thing I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna congratulate Chad. I wish he was still here. That one kind of, I think that death would have been more bigger, no disrespect, if Kobe didn't die. Because when Kobe died, everybody was kind of still mourning. Then I think Kobe's birthday came, and then he passed the next month, which it didn't really hit as hard like I think it should have. But I'm glad he's getting his walk, because I did go watch some of his own other films. What was it on 22? What was 42. It? That Bridge movie? 42. No, the Bridge movie. That Bridge movie is very underrated. That he was trying to look for that kid. That movie is very damn good. But shout out to him. Now, Byron. How many times do we got to tell you this, old man? Why are you talking about issues that don't apply to you? See, this is why we have been delineating, because people like him want in on stuff that they didn't even fight for. You are a Jamaican and Panamanian tether, sir. You need to go fight for them folks. But if you don't know, them Panamanian boys, they mama boys. So I mean, and you also notice, Torian, that a lot of these quote unquote black conservatives, they only represent white folks in white districts.
Yeah.
So it's like I tell somebody, if they're a real black conservative, why they're not in the black district? Why is majority of their district white, like his and Wesley Hunt and I know Tim Scott's a senator though, but y'all know what I'm saying. But you see the pattern. They don't represent us. They represent them folks. So you can't take them folks seriously at all. So I'll land my plane there, Torian. B1.
Shout out to Wallow for coming up. Next up, we got Cosmo. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? I see Sidney Sweeney finally replaced Katherine Heigl as the blonde box office poison.
I forgot all about her.
Oh God, her movies ever since that knocked up situation happened, she just been taking L's for the rest of her career. She's never recovered from that. And it wasn't even anything politically related. It's just something, I don't know. It's just, she's like the younger version of it. It's just something just irredeemable, unlikable about them. Like, you talented, but why are you so damn unappreciative of certain things? But that situation, that's all I gotta say about that. I'm glad you mentioned Madam Web, because that was a bomb. But Byron Donalds, like, what brought back up that situation with him in reparations? I know that was what brought that back up.
Hell if I know.
Because we already knew how he stood on it. Like, we did. That's why it's gonna come back and haunt him. Maybe that's them reminding people, like somehow somebody's like, look, this is what this man's saying right here. If you saying outright no, you gotta give them some hope. I know these politicians be strategizing like they're like, yeah, don't say outright no. Just give them some sort of hope. We see through the facade. But thank you, Byron, for being outright honest. Why? So we know to continue not to F with you. That's how I feel about Byron Donalds' situation. But speaking of Black Panther, also, did you know that Damson Idris is rumored to be replacing T'Challa? I mean, Jasmine.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors, but I'll believe it when I see it. Like when I see something actually on paper, just like they keep saying that the Blade movie's going forward. I just rolled my eyes at that. I said, listen, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, don't keep putting out these reports.
I know, but
talking about oh, it's going to happen. When they shoot something, when they say, oh, we started filming, then I'll believe it. But until then, I'm not believing it.
Yeah, I know. Just one last thing before my time is up. He said they asked him about it. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't talk about it. That's the same thing Chadwick Boseman said on. Yeah. That's what he said.
I appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Cosmo for coming up. Hey, Wallow, I know you somewhere lurking in the chat. I know you happy about that. And if this goes your way, you might be happy too. Jonathan, what's going on?
What's going on, Tori? I'm chilling, man.
Wait, hold on. Wait, your audio sounds kind of muffled. Like I can't hear you. It's not clear. Yeah, it's like it sounds like.
Hold on. Is that better?
It's still not clear.
Maybe the background.
It sounds like you're very far away.
It never act like this.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like it's very muffled.
Let me go outside. I was just on something work. So let me go outside. All right, is that better?
It's still kind of It's very low and like it's muffled and it's low. It could be it could be a connection issue.
All right, let me get out and I'll come back in.
All right, Xavier, what's going on?
Hey, brother Torian, B1, my brother.
B1.
It's been a while. How you been though?
I've been good.
And life been lifing. Anyways, this about that Blade thing you were talking about. I think there might be some truth to it because I don't know if you saw the Marvel Zombies miniseries.
I did.
Yeah, so he was in it like this dude was in it as Blade, maybe not as Blade, but like Blade and Conchu. Sorry for the spoiler, but that was basically Blade. So I don't know. That might be a sign that they're moving forward with that with the Blade, the whole Blade thing. So, anyways, I really wanted to talk about the Sydney Sweeney situation, and I think I could like she's reaping what she sowed. I don't know why these folks never get that. They're only good for a few minutes. They don't their online fame doesn't translate into like monetary gains most times because these MAGA clowns will like boost them up in the algorithm, but they'll stay inside. They'll never go out and support whatever they're doing. So it's really unfortunate. And the fact that she wouldn't even come out right and just kind of like squash like everything that they're saying and say, no, I don't support this, or no, it was out of context. That's all she really had to say. But she's going along with it like anyways. I guess my time is up. Thanks for bringing me up.
No problem. Shout out to Xavier. Jonathan, if you're out there, I'm putting a timer on for you to come up. You got 4 minutes. If you're not up here in 4 minutes, we know Wallow probably wouldn't give you no time. But how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. This was a good live. The next time I go live will be on Tuesday, by the way. I'm just telling y'all ahead of time. That'll be the next time I go live at 6 o'clock p.m. I almost set myself up for failure because I was about to put down go live on Monday, then realized I wasn't going to be available at that time. Y'all would have been sitting here waiting for me like, where's Torian? Then I'm like, why y'all waiting for me? Then realize, oh, today's Monday. Mahako said that's the GoldenEye 64 buzzer. That's diabolical. I love this buzzer because it's like people know that when they hear it one time, they don't want to hear it again. Oh, well, look. Oh, he popped back up. Let's see if he got his connection good. Is it better now?
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, it's better.
We'll just have to work with it. What's going on?
What's going on, man? I did come a little late, but I came just in time enough to hear about the fitness swing situation. I think Gravity was talking about this too. How they support fitness swing and how they think she's a good actress or a beautiful woman.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Pause right there, Jonathan. I thought I was going to be able to work with it, but it's real muffled. I really can't hear you. At first, I thought I was going to be able to get it, like hear it when you first started talking, but it's like when you continue to talk, it's so muffled. I can barely understand you. It's almost like you got to come with closed captioning. Like it's that bad. It's not clear. It's not clear at all. You know what? Take the Bluetooth off. Take the Bluetooth off and just talk directly into your phone.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
That's much better. Okay, that's much better. I'm gonna start your time.
Ain't
over.
that something?
That's what it was. It was the Bluetooth.
Oh man, because I was hoping to. I don't understand. I usually when I go on the Bluetooth, we have a good conversation and you can hear me. Now all of a sudden it just went out. All of a sudden I don't know what the heck going on. But yeah, Sweeney, getting all this so-called love, but ain't nobody supporting her. They ain't go to none of her movies. You know what I'm saying? Including the boxing movie where she plays this biracial girl because the black hair and all.
No, she's not. No, she's not biracial. The character is she's in the LGBT.
Oh, well,
because it's based on a real person. It's not a fictional movie. It's based on someone who actually exists.
Oh, okay. Well, and that's another thing. She playing someone that existed in real life. You would think that would be something to go see, and these folks clearly supposed to be her number one, star or whatever, and they're not showing her no support. So obviously she's not as important as they claim they are. And, these folks have been fake from the beginning. They exist, and they always going to be the most hypocritical. Never going to take accountability, fake ass race that ever existed. So it's a good thing I'm in an all black gym because for some Caucasians would have heard this, it would have been a situation. But yeah, just want to let you know, like that Sweeney stuff was like. They don't care for her. They just like Caitlin Clark. They want the Great White Hope, and they are pushing for Sweeney to be exact that. And I'm gonna let my plane right there.
All right, appreciate you coming up. All right, shout out to Jonathan for coming up. Next up, I think I know who this might be. This is Byron wants a check and win.
Men are simple. We are simple people. We just want checks and wins.
Probably more checks though. Just because the thing is, you don't have to win to get a check, but you get a check, you lose, you still get a check in some capacity.
Exactly. Should we call him El Donalds? or should we just keep him as Byron? Because Jamaicans and all that.
It honestly doesn't really matter. I mean, he's gonna lose regardless.
Are you preparing for this?
I think the reality has already set in.
What if he doesn't even make the primary? Because you didn't say this, but he's getting a lot of primary opponents.
That'll be even more hilarious
right now.
That'll be even more hilarious if that's what it comes down to.
Because I told you, Florida don't like him, but I'm going to be down there next month. I might go on the street in Orlando and ask them about Byron Donalds if they'd vote for him.
Some people might look like, who?
Remember when I showed that? And some of them, they were like, I don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay. But he's making DeSantis look right every day. But it is what it is. He can figure out the book grift, I guess.
Or do the podcast grift, because why not?
Do you really want to hear him talk?
I don't have to hear him talk, but someone out there might listen to him. No emphasis on someone.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to listen to another felon, I'm thinking, I guess. Sure. All right, but anyway, I gotta go.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
Yep.
Shout out to KG, and also shout out to Xavier for being a member for 15 months. He says white supremacists only like Sydney Sweeney because she basically became an avatar for their racism. B1. Yeah, precisely. They won't say that. Remember when Sydney Sweeney first caught that controversy for the Gene ad, and they were asking Donald Trump about it? What was the first thing that Donald Trump asked that reporter? Is she MAGA? Or something along those lines. And I forgot what the reporter said in response. And apparently he liked what she said. And he says, well, then I support Sydney Sweeney. So there you go. I can't take these folks seriously. None of them. But anyway, y'all, I think KG might have been the last person to come up and speak. Shout out to each and every person that came up and spoke. Shout out to those who hit the super chat and are still members of the channel. I appreciate you. There will be a video coming tomorrow at 12 noon. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. Shout out to all the members, all the mods, everybody on Patreon, everybody in Discord, everybody who's a part of the replay game. I'm glad that you are part of that as well, in case y'all could not catch the live in real time. I appreciate you either way. Like I said before, I'll say it now. The next live will be on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely watch out for the notification on that. And with that being said, we are about to get up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Stay warm, and most importantly, be one.